So today I'll be covering a question from the Advanced Functions textbook, page 437, number 13. And the question is, I forgot to write it, but the question is, Natasha is a marathon runner and she likes to train on a 2 pi kilometer stretch of rolling hills. The height in kilometers of the hills above sea level relative to her home can be modeled by the function h of d equals 4 cosine squared d minus 1, where d is the distance traveled in kilometers. The question is, at what intervals in the stretch of rolling hills is the height above sea level relative to Natasha's home less than 0? So first, we have to solve for 4 cosine squared d minus 1. So we write it down, and the way we solve it is to determine the zeros of the function. So h of d equals 4 cosine squared d minus 1. 0 equals 4 cosine squared d minus 1. When you factor 4 cosine squared d minus 1, it equals to 2 cosine d plus 1, 2 cosine d minus 1 equals 0. Since 2 cosine d plus 1 and 2 cosine d minus 1 equals 0, either of the two factors can equal to 0. For 2 cosine d plus 1 equals 0, you try to solve for d, right? So 2 cosine d equals negative 1. So you take the 2 out, and that means cosine d equals negative 1 over 2. That means the solution to the equation cosine d equals negative 1 over 2 occur at d equals 2 pi over 3 or 4 pi over 3. For 2 cosine d minus 1 equals 0, you do the same process as what you did previously. So you solve for d. So you divide by 2, and that means 2 cosine d equals 1 over 2. Cosine d equals 1 over 2. So the solution to the equation cosine d equals 1 over 2 occur at d equals pi over 3 or 5 pi over 3. Now h of d equals 4 cosine squared d minus 1 are at d equals pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, or 5 pi over 3. With that known, the 2 pi stretch of rolling hills can be broken down into multiple intervals, starting from d is less than pi over 3, pi over 3 less than d less than 2 pi over 3, 2 pi over 3 less than d less than 4 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3 less than d less than 5 pi over 3, and d is greater than 5 pi over 3. To test for pi over 3, we sub pi over 6 into the equation. So, do so, h pi over 6 equals 4 cosine squared pi over 6 minus 1. Now you sub it using special values, and you get 4 root 3 over 2 squared minus 1. With that said, you get rid of the square root on the numerator, and you get 4, 3 over 4 minus 1. That equates to 2. The height is positive, so it does not fall below sea level. So that interval is that. Next, pi over 3 less than d less than 2 pi over 3 can be tested by finding h pi over 2 as follows. So h pi over 2 equals 4 cosine squared pi over 2 minus 1. So you get 4 pi over 2 equals 0. Cosine pi over 2 equals 0. You square that, and you get 0 minus 1 equals negative 1. Since the h of pi over 2 is negative, the height of the rolling hills is negative in region pi over 3 less than d less than 4 pi over 3. Next, you want to test the interval 2 pi over 3 less than d less than 4 pi over 2, and can be tested by finding h pi, or h1. So that equals 4 cosine squared pi minus 1. 4 cosine pi equals negative 1 squared. So you get 4 minus 1 equals 3. Since h pi is positive, the height relative to sea level is also positive. Now let's move on to the next interval, which is 4 pi over 3 less than d less than 5 pi over 3. And it can be tested by finding h 3 pi over 2. So you sub that into the equation. So that equals 4 cosine 3 pi over 2 minus 1 equals 4. Cosine 3 pi over 2 is equal to 0. So you get 0 minus 1 equals negative 1. Since h 3 pi over 2 is negative, the height of the land relative to the sea level is also negative. Now finally, you want to use the last interval to test, and you can be tested by finding 11 pi over 6. So you sub 11 pi over 6 equals 4 cosine 11 pi over 6 squared minus 1. And 11 pi over 6 is similar to the special value, root 3 over 2. When you square that, you get 4. You get rid of the square root, and you get 4 3 over 4 minus 1 equals 2, and that is positive. So the final answer to answer the question is the intervals in which the heights are negative are pi over 3 kilometers less than d less than 2 pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3 less than d less than 5 pi over 3 kilometers. So that is the end of question 13 for page 437. I hope this helps. Thank you so much.